Today, I stand before you all to challenge a notion that air travel is a necessity. Well, no, it is not. And it does not blur the lines between what we want and what we need. Because despite its growing accessibility, air travel still remains as a symbol. Yes, a powerful symbol of richness. So let me ask you, if air travel is truly a necessity, then why is it out of reach for millions? Why people living in a rural village still dream to fly just once in their lifetime? Yes, just once, as the fact it is a golden ticket to a different world. Because, my dear friend, that's what flying is. An aspiration, a luxury, trust in convenience. Well, I do agree that budget-friendly airlines exist, but those cheap tickets are not really cheap for a daily wage earner, for a farmer, or for a school teacher who needs to feed a family of 5. The truth is, air travel may have become more convenient or accessible, but it is far from universally attainable. Look around. Airports are not filled with masses, but with privileged ones, those who are sipping their overpriced coffee, scrolling through their iPhones, and rolling their designer luggage. The truth is, air travel serves the upper crust, those who can afford not just for speed, but for status. Ask yourself, why does business class seats exist? Why are there private jets, airport spas, and luxurious lounges? Because air travel is not all about transportation. It is about presentation. It is a badge of wealth and status. Well, I do agree that students fly across the world for studies, migrants for jobs, but only those who can afford the airfare. There are millions of dreams which are crushed, grounded, and scattered, not because of talent or need, just because they can't afford, just because the sky has a price tag which they cannot afford. If air travel was truly a necessity, wouldn't the government make it as a basic right? Or wouldn't they provide subsidies for poor people to travel? But what we see today, we see a huge gap between people who can afford or to often travel through air travel, who can often air travel, and those who have never set their foot into an airport. So let's not make a mistake normalization to necessity. If we see many planes in the sky, that doesn't mean that we all have earned wings. There are still people standing on the ground and waving at something that is out of reach. So let's stop romanticizing the reality. Well, indeed, air travel may have become common, but common doesn't mean equal. It is still a privilege wrapped in convenience. It is still a dream of millions who cannot afford it. And it is a marker for those who can rise above the borders and for those who need to stay grounded. Yes, planes fly over all of us, but all of us cannot afford it, or all of us cannot fly. Until and unless air travel becomes as normal as a bus ticket and as natural as turning a tap, until then we cannot and we must not make it a necessity. It is a luxury, a ladder climbed by those who have money and means. And that, my dear friends, is an uncomfortable reality. So I stand before you all firmly and clearly that air travel is indeed a symbol of richness. It is not a right, it is not a necessity, but it is definitely a reflection of privilege flying into the modern sky. Thank you.